coming in and out.
Hi, Giselle. Hi, Rana.
Rana, hey!
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. Are you in Egypt?
Yes, in Egypt. Looking forward for this webinar.
It's awesome. Rania.
Yes.
Sahar. Huh?
Hello. I'm so exciting. I just waiting to see you, Stefania. Hi.
So nice to see you. I love Zoom, right? We can be moms at home with our kids and we can be here talking to each other and see each other like if we were in each other's living room.
I know. I love it.
You tell me, Dana, can you also record it in case we want?
Yeah, I am recording it. I'm recording it. I wonder if somebody else can record in case my bad internet causes the recording to be bad as well.
Guys, it's the president of Europe. He wrote me, it's urgent. Give me 1 minute. I need to call him back. I'm going to be super quickly. I'm so sorry. But when he writes me this, is because something is happening. It's about ageless. Don't worry. They're not taking it away, but we need to know what to say. You're getting live news. It's all over the news already. You're getting live news.
We're getting like fresh off the press.
Come on, now if he doesn't pick up, I'm going to shoot him.
Are people still struggling? Because I'm sure that's the right number now.
Mine's going to come on in a second.
Okay, great. So I think Rana and Catherine had a question and people can just go ahead and ask live, I think. What do you think? Why don't you each ask your own questions, ladies?
Well, Dana, do you think that maybe I sent you the list? Is it easier if you or everybody should just barge in?
No, Rana, I think like because
yeah? Should I ask?
I think if people raise their hand so that nobody speaks over because it cuts people in and out, and then we'll just let you speak and go ahead and ask Stefania yourself, Habibti.
Okay, I just want to know how to raise my hand on the phone. Okay.
No, literally on the camera so we can see you.
Oh, okay. Because they have the hand lift thing icon. Okay.
Old school.
Old school. Okay.
Hi, Pari.
So, is Stefania ready or is she on the phone?
She's on the phone, so she'll be with us soon.
Okay.
Oh my God, look at our exciting team of power chicks. I love it. I'm taking a picture. I can't see myself. It's annoying. I can see all of you, but I can't see me. Can you see yourselves?
Roll back one frame.
Oh, where? I don't know how to do that.
There's a blue arrow. Right?
Yeah, I've got something that says speaker view or gallery.
Maybe because you're the host. Did you start the thing?
So this way, it's just showing me the person who's speaking. Or gallery shows me a grid. Here, I'll send you a picture, Reem, so you can see what I mean. Okay. I'll send it into Finity. Say, yalla, we're waiting for you.
Okay, done. I knew it was quickly. So yeah, there's speculations, that our contract with Ageless, it's going to be over and blah, 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 blah. But the thing is like that. Ageless, right? The product Ageless?
Yeah.
You must have one. The one that I don't use, the only product I don't use. I use every product except that one. There are articles online so that it's going to come up. That says that, the company Ageless that we bought the rights for network marketing to have, they now want back because Jeunesse did such a great job promoting it that now they're thinking, why should we earn less? Why don't we take it and we make all the money, right? And And so there is this trial going on, but nothing to worry about. We have warehouses full of ageless that, in the United States, when you open a trial, it's going on forever. And Jeunesse already has another product that, in case we're not going to call it ageless, but it's like the luminous line for the eyes. So we're still going to win. Is why people, no, I can't live without ageless. But it's so funny that I realize actually there are many people that love ageless, because I don't.
Yeah.
So I think that nobody does. Yeah. But no, they are. So that's it. Because, oh, is a baby there. So anyway, let's go, girls. Sorry.
Okay, can I ask?
Yeah, go ahead, Rena.
Okay, I've got like this crazy question. I want to just know, how did you start off, when you first started off and started signing up people and having some people become executives and then other people fall into do nothing, and then your list ends, and then how did you pick up yourself and pick yourself from turning people into executives and having people work instead of just use the products? Yes.
First of all, your list can never end. And you might say, but how? I don't know any more people. No, that's not right, because, I sign up people that I didn't know yesterday and I can know today, because your list needs to be always active. I went to the park with the dog and my son last week here in Jumeirah Islands. I'm at the park, not even thinking about doing Jeunesse. People are attracted by my puppy. They come, oh, so cute, talking, oh my God, you're Italian. I'm from Santo Domingo. I lived in Italy. What do you do? I make tons of questions. I'm likable. I meet people. And then at the end, of course, they ask me, what do you do? Oh, I just promote anti-aging products, reverse aging, and I always throw this sentence with human stem cell technology. And then I change subject. I go like, oh, Luca, stop it, it's too dangerous. Or, if I'm at a party and there are no kids, I would say, oh my God, if I really do, I love your shoes. I always change subject, and they start going crazy. Wait a second, what products are those? And then I go like, oh, and I just make them curious, and I give them hints. But what I do that night, I just create a relationship. I don't try to recruit people. I would, meet them for coffee again. Or in that case, I found out she lives in my cluster. So we said, okay, come over. And when I went over to her house, I signed up her girlfriend, and who I never even met, and I didn't even expect her to be there. And I also, not only sign them up as customers, but even as business. Because this was last week, and I didn't even know who they were until last week. So your list can never end. We give suggestions. If you really think you don't know anybody, which is not true, because we all have warm, cold, hot, and warm contacts. And we always think our list is over when we are done with the warm contacts, because I would feel awkward to call somebody from high school, or not even high school, let's say not kindergarten, or the primary school, not primary. What's this, when you're 10 years old? Yeah. That would feel awkward all of a sudden. So what you need to do, I love social media. Dana, can you quiet the microphones, because it's really loud.
Yeah, I'll mute everybody. Can everybody mute themselves?
But you can do it for them, huh? Participants. So anyway, and practically what you do, I love Facebook for that. I would start going under the pictures of the people that I thought would be great to work with and be in contact. I will check them out. And then I would make some likes, and then on Messenger, how are you, and ask questions and try to reconnect. And only a month later, I would propose to them to do the business, right? So your list can never be over. You always will meet new people. Change gym if you think you already spoke to everybody at your gym. Start a cooking course. One girl doing the cooking course, she truly became financially free, because she really met all these people that are reconnected. Back in summer in Italy, in the month of August, we have the strongest month, because people are recruiting at the beach. just by meeting people, everybody's so more conscious. So your list is never over. Now, did I get tons of no's? Yes. Did I get tons of people that enrolled and even told me they were gonna rock it and they all quit? Yes. If I look at my team, if I enrolled like 130, maybe now more, 150 people, I would have to check up in my app because I came from another company, so I don't know how many people I enrolled before. In Jeunesse, you can only see now, right? But who is really working? Who is really like doing successful business? Maybe 30 of them. The others are using the product. Some don't do anything. All have good reasons, but I always tell this to people, and it's true. I show a picture of when I started the business, where I went to Berlin, and I took with me, the first convention I went on my own to Warsaw. I didn't even want to go. I already went. By the way, I wanted to quit as well, twice. So I'm about to quit. I don't want to ever do this business anymore because I'm sick and tired that it wasn't working for me. I thought I wasn't smart enough. I thought I wasn't good enough. My credibility was not good and all that, right? So I want to quit, but I win a dinner. And when you're single and miserable and you win a party where they tell you have to wear a gown and makeup and hair, I'm like, you know what? I'm going there. Maybe I will meet somebody. Maybe I have a reason to go out there. And I went with my last money. I went all the way to Warsaw to this party. I have to say my upline was also very good. They really called me up and come on, let's go. We're going to have fun. Who cares? I'm like, I'm not doing this business anymore. I'm sick and tired. It's not working, right? So that was me, my first Warsaw meeting. I go there, which is, by the way, the equivalent of what we have in Amsterdam now. So it's a convention. Like you guys, some of you came to Berlin. So I go there. And I am, at the party, actually my now husband was there. I didn't even see him. So that's how good it was, that party for me. But I stayed then for the convention. And at the convention, I did a big click. And I realized that this was a huge opportunity for me. And I thought, you know what, if that guy can do it, he has no one tooth, he has a big belly. He's not even good at talking on stage. He's like shaking. If he can do it, I can do it, okay? He has 2 eyes and 1 mouth like me. Let me try. And I'm like, he's not even representing the product. Look how fat he is. That's what I thought, okay? Honestly, I didn't get empowered by good people. I got empowered by the bad ones because they gave me inspiration. Like, okay, so I could try because if they did it, I could do it. So, of course, also the good people that empower me, but in a different way. So at the second convention, I knew that I had to take with me as many people I could, right? Because if I did my click, if I changed my life at the convention, I had to go with, guess how many? 11 people. 11 people. That was as much as I could take. So I take 11 people with me, and I have a picture that proves what I'm trying to tell you, that's why you cannot quit. This picture shows 11 people, and 6 of them quit. So here again, mathematical is that 11 people that I enrolled, 6 already quit. They're not in the business anymore. But the 5 that stayed with me, and that was around 3 years ago, the 5 that stayed with me, one is a sapphire, and I don't mean only, I know that we have Dana here who's a sapphire, and I'm very proud of her. It's a good rank, but after 3 years, it's not really a good rank. Something is happening. Anyway, she's a sapphire, but guess what? She's making 30% on an emerald that is going diamond. So she's making around $20,000 a month. So it's a very good sapphire because she's also cycling like 50, 60 cycles a month. Tita Balestri. The other one is Luisa Pasanisi, Ruby. Actually, not true. She's elite, but always paid as nearly as a Ruby, like 180 cycles. So, what is it, $5,000, $6,000? The other one is Sabato Galasso, Ruby, 15,000. Gianni Sepe, nearly emerald again, because, they're different. Anyway, making as well 20, 25,000. And then we have number 1 woman in Italy right now, emerald director Manuela Ratti, that makes tons of money. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure, but like 60, 70. So what I'm trying to say is, I look at this picture and I'm thinking, what about the ones that were so crazy to quit? Look at what, and now, because I made a video about it, and I made a whole tour showing it, because, people know who they are, and it really works, because it's true. I mean, the picture, it's me with 11 people and Kelvin Becerra. That's it. Daniel is the one taking the picture. And for me, it was a triumph to have all these people there. 2 of those people saw the video on Facebook, because people say, and now they started again, and they're like, oh my God. But imagine, they were so crazy, they didn't keep their auto-ship. They would have had millions of points accumulated, even if they didn't work, just by using one product a month. So yeah, so this is really, really important to understand that what doesn't happen sometimes in 2 years can happen in 2 weeks, in 1 day, honestly.
But how do you motivate people to work? Or is there like people who work and they're all excited and then they vanish? They just vanish off the planet.
Did you give them the right? I mean, I'm not trying to be, Rana, I'm not trying to be accusing you. I'm generically talking, okay? Generically. First of all, we need to give the right expectation to people. Sometimes people do not maybe read well, go pro, they don't even read it. Maybe, they get all excited and think it's really easy. But I always tell people it's like this. This is a business that goes from 1 to 5 years, okay? I have people that started 3 years ago that are not as successful as the ones that I mentioned before. I was very, very lucky that on that picture, exactly those people are really successful. But I do know that I have people in my team that started 3 years ago that still didn't have their breakthrough. Maybe they're making $1,000, $2,000 a month, okay? That's why I always say from 1 to 5 years. I'm in the business for 4 years and a half nearly. So I'm definitely, proving that. Now, the first year, if you even make money, you are really good. Because what the first year should be, it should be a preparing ground to then take off later. So the money that you make, you should invest in product. You should invest in the trip going to, like you guys did, to Amsterdam, for example, or you should invest in renting a hotel room. Because if you think about it, we are entrepreneurs, right? We are not employees in this business. Nobody works for anybody, okay? Even if your sponsor sometimes wants to be bossy, especially men, they want to boss around their team. I keep on telling me, hey, dude, you are not their boss. In network marketing, nobody has a boss, right? You can help them, but they can do what they want. We can work when we want, whenever you want. So you need to give the right expectation. You need to tell people, hey, in the beginning, it's going to be tough. In the beginning, nobody will follow you. But you know what? What you really need to go diamond, you need 12 people. 12 people. And actually, you need 3 legs to really take off. Legs, like you have 2 legs, but 3 lines. Okay, so even once you're a sapphire, then what you have to do is really work in depth. Obviously, you need to recruit more than 12 because most probably of those 12, like I told you before, many will quit, many will not. People by reason quit are many, many different reasons. Sometimes it's because they don't believe in themselves, they're afraid to fail. Sometimes it's because they don't have a why big enough. Like I wish that my team would have to, like in Italy, you call it, you take a paper, still old times, and you arrive at the office and you go click, click, and then when you leave, you do it again, right? Timbrare il cartellino, you say in Italian. Giselle, if you can help me with this, I don't know how you say it in English, but it's like you need to be accountable to your boss when you come and when you leave. And I wish that my whole team, which is more than 50,000 people, would work really 1 hour a day, just 1 hour a day, and really make the activity of writing down names, of calling people, of making a presentation. Then they would see results. But the problem is that there are so many people that the truth is they don't work. When people call me, I have results, I ask them, okay, so how many people do you have on your list? Oh, how many people did you really call? How many times did you present the opportunity? How many times did you train these people? Guys, we cannot expect to have incredible financial freedom and results if you don't work. And in the beginning, it's like any entrepreneur business, right? If today I open a restaurant, just an example, man, you know how much money and effort you need to put and how long it will take until you will get back all your investment, and besides the incredible risk you will have. But this is a business, so you own your business. So you need to put effort, time, not money, because we know all you have to do is buy some products, but you need to, invest first. So if people had the wrong expectation and they thought that by enrolling 2-3 friends, and if they give up on them for some reason because their why is not big enough, because they are bored because it's other times, people don't succeed also because I know there are some guys, but I see like, especially in Italy, I don't know about the culture here. I talk a lot about Italy because my team there is really big, but you know, some husbands, they just don't want us to take off, like with our own wings. So they're negative. This is never going to work. And they don't really tell them you cannot go out or you cannot go to that meeting, but they brainwash you and send you messages. It's like, oh, that's never going to work. I mean, my ex-husband, I started this business with a friend that I was still married. And my ex-husband used to tell me all the time, it's never going to work. It's a joke. It's a scheme. And when then I was getting those no's, honestly, I started to believe him. I started to believe my dad. My dad was the worst dream killer. My father, even when I got to $10,000 a month, you know what he told me? Because I showed him with all my pride. Look, Dad, look. You see, you went wrong. Because I'm also proud. So I'm like, you see, look at this. You know what he told me? It's gonna all fall down. Don't worry. It's just a moment like this because you're good at talking and blah. You know, like always finding excuses. And today, super proud of me. He's going to all the meetings and he cries when I go on stage. But honestly, he's also getting old finally. Not that I'm happy that he's getting old, but he's getting softer because my dad was so tough. But to me, I'm a personality. The more no's I get, more people tell me that I'm gonna fail, more I want to prove them that I was right. And also, I didn't have any more of the lifestyle and the income I used to have. So my why was to give that to my kids. I did it for my kids. So my why was stronger than my fears. And maybe the people that you are enrolling, sometimes people just join because they want to make you happy. But those people never really had intention of building. And that's okay. I love even the customers. I love even the people that are just using a product every 2 months. It's fine. All you need is to find a bunch of people that want to put effort and work together, have fun together, because we have lots of fun in this, and help people changing lives. And another thing, I'm also very good at painting the vision. And I'm sorry, I shouldn't say I'm very good because it's not that, but what I do good is that I see immediately if the why of somebody is financially, many times is not. Many times is, for example, for some women, is self-accomplishment, is having that extra money to buy something without asking, at home. Because, if you think about it, if you're a mom, I was a mom for 14 years. My husband was incredibly generous to me. I could go shopping whenever I wanted. I traveled the world with him, and so I cannot complain. But my job was the kids. But of course, can I go on, or there was a question? Oh, good. Okay. So if my how can I say? If I wanted to buy something more than $1,000, I would have to share with him, hey babe, I saw this handbag, or what do you think, or or I couldn't just. I had a budget, like a home budget, but I always took more. But like I didn't have this freedom. And if I wanted to buy him, I remember I got him an Oyster Rolex for his Christmas. But man, I had to get it as a surprise. I had to get my father pay for it, and then I gave him some of the money. And I could never surprise him because, my credit cards were the family credit cards, right? So I immediately see what is the prospect in front of me. Does she need self-accomplishment? Does she need empowerment? Does he need, more money for the family? Some people are all in for the charity. They love Jeunesse kids. They love giving back. I have women that literally their wallet completely goes onto Jeunesse kids. You can choose as much to give every month if you want. And whatever commission they make goes to Jeunesse kids. They do Jeunesse to literally have a reason to do their makeup, go out, meet people, have fun as a charity event, as a charity thing. And some of them are making really good money and they're giving it all. It's a way to help community. It's a way to give back. Some women, they don't need money, but their girlfriends do, their sisters do, their friends do, so they do Jeunesse and they help them, like it happened to me, to change their life back. So what I do, when I talk to somebody, I paint them the vision, look accordingly to what do they need in the Jeunesse. Okay, then sometimes you can be wrong and you look at someone, you think like, wow, man, she has like an Aston Martin, and in Italy everybody loves Aston Martin. So Aston Martin, and she arrives all dressed up, blah blah blah, and you think, she doesn't need the money, but then you find out that actually they do have all this, but they have no cash flow. So she's doing it to have cash flow for the family, because if they would sell now their houses, if they would sell now what they have, they would lose money, because in Italy there is a crisis, right? So what I'm trying to say, it's up to us. And sometimes, you know what? You cannot, we say that in this business, there are chickens and eagles. And don't take me wrong, I know that the word chicken can sound bad in Italian. I don't mean that if somebody's not successful in Jeunesse, it's a chicken. But the attitude towards Jeunesse is like, complaining like a chicken, but not taking off. And I cannot make chickens into eagles all the time. And you know what? If somebody wants to stay a chicken, let it be a chicken, and I'm going to work with the few eagles that I have in my team. And sometimes then the chicken sees, but she was a chicken like me, and now she's flying like an eagle. Maybe I can do it. Maybe she just needed, or he needed more time to see that this was really working. Another thing I do.
Can I just step in 1 second, Stefania, on that? Because, another thing that I've learned a lot from watching videos and listening to other, leaders in network marketing is that actually although you should never judge anybody, and you've been brilliant, Rana. You had such a huge success very quickly. And now, don't look at only what you can do to get these people more active. Although Stefania, to sum it up, she's saying be a good listener and find out what they need, because Jeunesse can be tailored for so many different people's needs, as she says, either personal significant or finances, or maybe just to look better or have something to do and feel like you've got your own life again after motherhood. So with these people who've started, got excited and quit, there's two things that I think is important. One is know where to spend your time and where not to spend your time. If the mouth is moving and the feet aren't, also maybe you need to find partners that are really looking for success. But as Stefania says, try and find, not for success, but looking for the opportunity, whatever that is for them. But try and find their why again for them. Try to find the why again.
Let me just give you an example. I have 2 rubies. Actually, no, one is an emerald and one is a ruby. So really successful people, right? That they actually took a year and a half to really start. They were in and out. They did an auto-ship. They didn't do it. They didn't. So, I never gave up on them completely. I gave them their time. We don't have to go and bother people. They don't work for us. Sometimes somebody in your team, which you think is dead, like that is wrong. But that you think is inactive, it might turn active later on. It's not their moment. It's not their timing. One of my best friends, when she enrolled, like a month later, her dad fell down, he died. He had a wrong fight against cancer, and then he ended up dying, and, she had an amazing relationship with her dad. It was not her timing. A year after her father died, she finally took off. So it's not up to us. We are giving people a great opportunity in, knowing and using incredible products that truly work, and a great opportunity to have extra financial income or even incredible income. It's up to them. But it's not up to us to force them to do something that maybe is not their time to. So another thing is also lead by example, because you cannot expect your team to, and again, Rana, I'm just answering to your question, but I'm not meaning it at all to you, okay? It's generic what I'm saying, because I know you work and it's not that. But for example, I see people that complain, my team is not doing meetings, and why her team is and his team. And I go, okay, but how many meetings are you doing? Oh, but I have no time. I'm like, okay, so how, we need to lead by example. You cannot expect people to do what you don't do. And another thing that I wanted to say before, now I missed it, was I have to think about it, but it's gonna come up, because I talk with whatever goes in that moment in my head. But but to me, it will come up. Let's go on with questions, and then I will answer.
Thank you, Stefania. That was very helpful. Super helpful. So basically, I do run crazy amounts of meetings, and it's insane. So I should just start going for new people, recruiting new people and going for new people, and leaving the people that don't want to, I don't need to push them.
Another thing, don't forget that this is a binary system. So the people that believed in you are going to have the new people and the people that will want to fly as an eagle, right, under them. So what I used to do after a month was like, hey, how are you? Are you doing? And then like, hey, check this out. You got like 80 people, 50 people, 10 people under you, and I'm sure you don't even know because I know you quit. Are you crazy? Come on, let's go back. All you need to do now is to do the other leg. Or, like if you lead by example and you start working, then some people wake up later because they go like, what? What happened here? What am I missing out, right? So that's why it's important to never stop. And then another thing now, it actually came back is, you need to find a partner in crimes. And I know it sounds bad said like this because we're not criminals, but somebody that you can relate to. You really need to be in a couple where, you do meetings together. It's better if it's your downline or if you're that person downline, so you're in the same team. But sometimes I see even cross teams that help each other and it's fine. And to really start to have a momentum together. So, I would do like once a week in my home when I still had the nice house, then I lost it. So then I moved into the reception of a hotel because I couldn't invite in one bedroom Portugal in a one bedroom apartment, which was a mess with 3 boys when I lost everything. But in the period when I started, when I was already divorcing, but I still had the house, I actually invited one morning, I think it was Wednesday mornings, I invited all the moms with the small kids or the ones that were not working to find out about the products and the opportunity. And then I would run, I don't remember when, a hotel room, but then I started later with people that instead could only come in the evening. And I kept it a little bit like in Dubai. I kept it quite often. It wasn't every week because, when you have children, one time they're sick, but I tried to be constant and to make others do the same. I understand that, Rana, you, for example, are in Egypt. So you're really on your own. Like, there are no other leaders right now there. So you have to be like I was on my own in the beginning in Italy. I started, there was nobody, okay? There were a couple of guys that did other networks that hated me because they had all this experience in network marketing and felt they were going to rock and roll. And instead I have no idea what I'm doing, but I just love these products and share them. And I start having real, incredible volume. But I was really on my own. And then we started this movement of Unity Global, which meant, hey, I'm in Rome, you are in Milan, you are in Portugal, and we do meetings and we send each other's people, respecting each other, helping each other, because we cannot be everywhere at the same time. But you need to find a few people there in Egypt, or we need to find people in Abu Dhabi, which will take responsibility and sacrifice that time to really start that. And that's the hardest part, especially if we go back to the point where people don't really have a big why. One of my biggest blessings in my life was that when I look at my capacity, or even though I did study, I didn't work for 14 years, I didn't have much choices. Like I wasn't a lawyer or a consultant, or I could say, oh, I do something else. All I could do, if I really didn't want to have bosses, if I really didn't want to make good income, I never thought that would happen. What happened to me, my goal was $10,000 a month, which for Portugal would be great, and for me and the children, and that was my goal. And I thought, there is no job that people will give me that, where I have my flexible hours and I can work next to my kids, enrolling people in the whole world just by using Skype. And now we are using Zoom, and in the beginning I was using Skype. So I was like, I'm gonna make this happen. I have no other choice. But some people bless them, and I'm happy for them. They have other choices. They are better at doing other things. They're distracted by other things, so they don't put that sacrifice in it,
Stefania, I have a question from one of my team members, and I think she's just embarrassed to ask. Can I ask it for you? This is from Krista. She's asking, would be good to hear technique suggestions how to convince undecided or people who are interested in products but somehow too busy to focus. How often should we follow up? How can we do this constructively without looking like a nag or an opportunist? If someone is too busy, why am I focusing with Jeunesse?
One of my hardest things was that I didn't want to make money on my friends. I felt like I was trying to, sell them. So I could never take the product and physically sell it to them because I wasn't able to ask the money back. And don't forget that when I went serious with the business, I lost everything. So some of the people were saying like, oh, poor her, now she's desperate and she's selling creams, right? That was the first impact because I wasn't good enough in making them understand what network marketing really is. So they thought, oh, it's like Tupperware and Amway and Mary Kay. And I'm not saying that it's not a similar concept, just that Jeunesse is a whole different level in technology, in compensation plan and company. But what I'm trying to say here is that the way I would do it, especially to the ones that were like, no, I'm never going to do those things and it's not for me. And so many of them today are rock and rolling in network. But the way I would do it was, hey, you know how when you go to the gym and you bring a friend and the gym gives you a month for free? Actually now, Tips and Toes, they're doing the same. I got the card. It's a franchise. I think you have those in Abu Dhabi. It's where you do your nails and waxing and that. They're doing exactly the same. If you bring 3 friends to them that are not clients, they will give you 30% off in the next 6 months or something like that. I don't want to say it wrong. And if they bring also 3, then they will get the same. I mean, that's not the marketing. You get paid only to those 3. We get paid of the friend of the friend of the friend, but it's very similar. So I didn't want to scare those people that I could see that the opportunity was too scary and they wouldn't be interested. I would tell them, hey, find us from me. You don't have to buy them from me. I'll give you a friend, like, hey, buy them online. You can even get a discount as a preferred customer. Or I would say, and on top of it, if you want, with a $30 fee, you can have those products wholesale always. I would do this with friends to start with. And guess what? If you refer more people to buy it, also they can buy it at wholesale. So you're saving them lots of money. You will get some hundreds of dollars, 100 money, but imagine having free products. When you go to Sephora, you are just paying, right? You pay Julia Roberts if you buy Lancome cream or all those actresses and I said like, hey, and you can just advertise it. So they didn't feel they had to build a business, but then guess what happens? So they do that. I help them out, we explain to the friends, and then they make 200 euros. And they go like, woo, I've told 4 friends and I made 200 euros. Or I told 1 friend, depending what they buy, right? And they're like, you know what? I'm going to tell more people. It's fun. And then they go like, oh, and the product is amazing. And slowly, some of them, not everybody, starts to enjoy and have fun in the business. They find the why because maybe they even do need money. And boom, they go. So depending on, you need to be a little bit like a psychologist. Depending who you have in front of you, don't go all the way. If you see that they're like, oh no, I'm not good at selling, or I have no time, or just share it to them like the gym talk, okay? And then one step to the other. My throat, because I'm shut, I have no voice.
And what about following up with those prospects? How often does someone, that's another thing she wanted to know. How often do you follow up to anybody, for you not to sound like a nag, like those naggy, like salespeople?
I'm so bad at follow-up. I'm not a good teacher because I'm the one who hates following up. I hate when people follow up on me on things. How did you do that? My mom is the worst at it because I like to procrastinate as well. I have to read the chapter follow-up from Eric Worre myself a lot. So it's one of my weaknesses, but I'm honest to you guys. So even if you're a bad follower, because you know what? I hate people when they bad. I want to know that it's also wrong, because if people didn't follow up on me 3 months for me to enroll, and people follow up we am today. So I'm being honest to you, I'm bad at it, but then I went to a coaching. I was invited in it about different gifts, lawyer women and psychology, and I was the one as a leader. We didn't even speak really about network marketing. We spoke about empowering women. And I had to talk 1 hour and a half, and I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And then I just spoke from my heart. And after that, many women came to me, and I gave my business card, of course, because it's a great opportunity to then recruit them. But then you have to do all the follow-up. You have to write them and answer them because they gave me business call and all that. And I procrastinated. And then I saw that a couple of those girls, they found me, and they were like so much in need of the opportunity. So I changed my mindset, and I realized, what I said today, I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for them. And with education, with touch, without being bothering, I would find their number on WhatsApp or exchange on Facebook and just really send a voice message, say, hey, Claudia, so nice meeting you. I know we exchanged business cards. I think you're a great girl. And here I would throw in, obviously I would know who they are. I would look them up on Facebook, and I would really talk to them. Like, I'm not being fake, right? When I follow up on somebody, I don't pretend I know them. I know I already spoke to them. I already presented to them. And it's like, but you know what? I just wanted to know if it's about the product. If I want to enroll them, I would say, like, you know what? I think someone like you would be great at what I do. My business, check out this. And then if they look at the video, I would just send a smile and say, so what did you like best? Without being bothered. And if I see that they're not really, I wouldn't call them all the time, but you need to find that equilibrium, because once again, I remind myself that I was so grateful that those people invested time in following up with me, because otherwise I wouldn't be there. And one person that teaches very well in my team is Manuela Ratti about follow-up, and she's the master at it. And she uses a lot WhatsApp and voice messages so that it's not a phone call. Because if you call one time and the person doesn't pick up, it's bad. Then you cannot call again. Sorry about my puppy. But you cannot call again, right? But if you send a voice message, and a nice voice message, where you're not just, I want to recruit, but you are, asking, so how are the kids and how is it, then it's okay. And if the person reads it and doesn't answer you back, don't bother them. And if they do, meet again for coffee. You need to create the relationship and lead by example. And if it's not their moment, fine, let them there and go on. But if you need to still enroll them, there are too many people that are afraid to pop the question. So, come on, let's go. You have nothing to lose. With some people, when I have a really good relationship, we're like, come on, get out your credit card now and let's start. No time to waste anymore. But in a jokey way, right? You need to become a little bit upfront, because sometimes people need that little push to take that decision, because again, they're afraid to not make it. They're afraid to fail. And you can help them to succeed. But it's up also to us to pop the question. I would shoot one time. We have this big meeting at somebody's house and everything was going well. And then the owner of the house that threw the party, it's not a party, the Jeunesse meeting, she's like, take it. And people were like all excited. She's like, okay, girls now. And you know what, guys and girls, because there were also some boys actually. It's like, you know what? Now go home, think about it, and then you let me know. Are you crazy? No way. I'm like, so, who is in first? This is a binary system. If you enter first, it's better for you. Like, sometimes you need to be a little bit upfront, because it's the truth. You are truly giving them an opportunity. But if your mindset is, oh, they're making me money, then it's never going to work. Your mindset has to be, I'm here to help. I'm here to serve. Then everything changes, and the way you will do it will be so natural and so truthful. The light in your eyes will be different, and things will work different. Dana is very good at this. Dana, you are like the queen of queens.
I love that advice, though. It's really good, because you're right. Sometimes it's actually, you're very hesitant to say, like, okay, so when are we going to do this? Like taking it to that step, like the closing. I think that's really funny, because that happened to me a couple of times, where people are like, well, why don't you go and think about it and let us know? And I'm like, actually, we could do it right now. But it's a hard one. And I think it's a good question from.
Papa wants to say something. She has her hand up.
Yeah, go ahead, Paria.
Well, hello everyone. Hi. I just wanted to say that the very first day that I get to know Donna, well, I get to know her on the phone. I didn't meet her, and then Stefania introduced me to her, and then you know what happened? She called me at 12:30 midnight. To ask me to join, and then again next day it was 7:30, something like that in the morning, and I was surprised. Oh my god, what is she doing?
Dana, you don't let go, huh?
Yeah, exactly. To be honest with you, at the beginning I got mad and I said, oh my god, look at the time, woman. But exactly for what she did, I joined her because I liked her, I loved her. I said, look at this person, how she is serious about the matter. She's not leaving me one moment, only she let me to sleep for 6 hours, like maybe even 5 hours, and then again she called me back. And because of that, I joined her. Actually,
You were texting me, you funny girl.
No, you called, and then again, tomorrow morning you text, and then you were not.
Don't overdo it, okay? Don't stop people.
Yeah. And actually, my question to Stefania, it was about closing, but she answered me while she was talking. She said, I have to change my mindset because I don't know. I'm good on all the other 7 skills that Eric Worre is teaching in GoPro. Only closing, I don't know how I have to close. And I was thinking that maybe I'm shy, maybe I'm feeling, that I'm doing something bad to people. Maybe I'm asking them to work for me. Exactly what you said. Now I got my answer. I have to change my mindset.
You need to paint the people, the vision according to what you see. I always ask question, also say, hey, what do you want from Jeunesse? Because it's also then, it depends on which package, right? I'm going to close them. Because if somebody tells me, oh, I want to start trying and seeing, I would say, would you want to start trying just the luminous line, just sorry guys, I'm already, how to say the beauty line, not the beauty line, a cosmoceutica. I do not get the word in English right now. Anyway, the luminous line. And then I would make sure, I always say to them, because to me, I'm sorry, but basic packages are out of the question. Because in the basic package, you only have the serum, you have the ageless and the reserve. And none of those products are good enough for me on their own, right? So you need to really focus on making people fall in love with the products when they first tell you, oh, I don't know, I want to try the products. Okay. If people tell me they want to do the business and they really want, because I ask them, what do you want from Jeunesse? Do you want, some people say, you know what, I hate my job. I want to quit my job. I don't want my boss. But some people tell me, no, I love my job. I just want to make a couple of $1,000s more a month. It all differs of how then I paint them the vision of what they can have in Jeunesse, and then I would say, okay, so if you really want to be successful, minimum you need an ambassador. So you are paid for 180 days as a fire. So you are, you have one product of each. But then it's, it really depends, and that's how I bring them. When I close them, I even suggest them what I think accordingly to what I heard they said. So again, Dana said it right. Let's listen and listen and listen and listen. And then I will serve them the right package. And then I go in and I write down, okay, so come on, give me your database. Come on, let's get your spot already. Like I bring them in. I'm not pushy. I don't say, hey, but I really bring them into that. I really do that. Because some people need to, and then I go, okay, let me just show you the packages we have anyway. You can think about it, but let's show you the package. And then I take them through the packages. But then it's so much easier once I got their name in and their database and I show them the package to say, come on, let's go now and start. At least start trying some products, and then you get yourself a spot. I have more people to talk to. You might find them under you, and and that's how I get them. And it's really happening all the time. Also because we are truly helping people. We are, that's what you need to understand. We really are. How many single moms like me, I'm changing their lives. Check out my Facebook Lives. When I do Facebook Live, how many people pour out love. Thank you, Jeunesse. Thank you, this company. Thank you, Stefania. They thank their sponsor. Wow, amazing, amazing. Of course, now here in the UAE, we just started. You don't have many successful life stories. But Dana, for example, look at Taylor. Taylor is how old, Dana? 23?
Yeah. 23.
What was his strongest month? What was his strongest month? I don't want to lie. I don't know.
I think it was like 12 or
$12,000, a 23-year-old boy. When he came to my house, I thought it was from a band because he's so cute. You know? I could be his mom. I know it sounds very sad, but I could. So, but yeah, we are like mummies.
While you were saying, you reminded me of something about when you're saying to listen to them and think about what they need. One for Krista, who I think is still on, a really nice one on the follow-up where you don't feel like a nag. And I learned this one, Stefania, from the Network Marketing Women, the greatest woman in network marketing. And it's so simple, but I love it because it's so effective and it's so heartfelt, and it's an easy way when you're feeling a bit embarrassed to follow up with somebody who you gave a sample to, or you did a presentation but you didn't do a second presentation, is to start with, I've been thinking about you. Such an easy one, but it's beautiful. And
it's true. You are thinking about them, right? You are.
And it's such an unintimidating way to open up a follow-up. It's just to send a message saying, I've been thinking about you. You know, I've been thinking about you. We should catch up again. I've been thinking about you. How was your kid that got sick the other day? I've been thinking about you. How have you been getting on with even ask with the skincare that you got, you know?
Yeah, of course. I also ask about, if I suggest somebody to use anything, like how many people I sent to my hairdressers, right? Wherever I lived in the world. I would naturally ask them, so did you like Luca? Did you like him?
Yeah.
And sometimes they would say, no, on your hair it works, on my hair I'm not happy, I don't like it. But I want to know because I suggested them. So why feel ashamed to ask about something just because you made some money, You think about it. You are giving them a product that if it would be sold in Sephora would be over $1,000. So you're actually saving them so much money. Okay, so don't. I'm talking about the serum now, for example, but don't feel embarrassed. Feel you are helping, and that's the truth. But I noticed that for me, once it wasn't anymore about making money for survival, because of course I was very anxious when you need money. You're more anxious, and when people would say no to me, my reaction, even though I would pretend it's okay, smiling deep inside, I'm like crying, am I gonna buy meat tomorrow, I mean, my mom would never let me starve, but it was terrible really to ask money at my age. But the thing is that once it actually was not anymore about me and survival, it became so much easier, because people could really feel and see in my eyes it was for them and not for me anymore. And I know you're thinking like, but I just started, I'm not making money, but you might know somebody that needs this more than you. And if your attitude changes, your mindset changes, you will see how much more people you will sign up. Truly, trust me. Next question, because I have another Zoom in 7 minutes. It was one after the other.
Oh my God, I can't believe almost an entire hour has passed by already. Does anybody else have any more questions? Taria.
Well, actually, this is not a question, but it's something that I wanted to share because I just discovered these days that I was evaluating myself, and I was comparing myself to you and to Stefania. What is the difference between me and you? Well, the big difference is that when you are talking, you are happy, you are showing a happy face and to people, and this is really important. I do have some personal problem, and that will make my face not happy, and then I'm talking to people like well, even though I'm not desperate for the income and the money, but it is some emotional thing which I have, and I have to get over it, and I have to, when I'm talking, have your face and your Stefania's face, because it's full of happiness, and people think that you do not have any, you are just like all yourself, you God makes you happy.
A point that is actually being taught by leaders.
Oh.
You're making a very good point here.
Yes.
One of my coaches, he obviously when I started this business, I had nothing to be happy about. Lost my family, lost everything I had. I lost weight, to everything, also the weight. But trust me, some people might I liked my legs, but I hated my face and my breast, okay? Because I went, my face, like terrible. And I was crying all day. I didn't feel like getting out of bed, depressed and all that. But I knew I had to do something about it. So my mentor at the time told me, Stefania, get yourself a video. Like he told me he used to listen to Rocky music. To me, Rocky was not making any sense. But I would watch a video from the company that really empowered me. Really, and he said, and imagine yourself where you want to be in this business. And don't look at what negativity and whatever is you need to call the people with energy, with enthusiasm, and with love, right? And that's exactly, I mean, now I'm not faking it. That's all true. But, and I do have a natural energy now, but at the time I was really depressed. But then what I did, I really got out of bed, didn't need to put makeup and nothing because I would call the people because I didn't want them to see me on my face with puffy eyes. But I would really get out of bed and watch 2 or 3 videos, watch something that motivated me, look at some pictures, and then I would pick up the phone and go, hey, Marta, how are you? Nice talking to you. I was thinking about you because, of course, she's in my list, so I did, and blah, 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 blah. And, just share with her what I thought she would be great at it and why it would be good for her to do this business and with energy. Because if you call somebody like, hi, how are you? Listen, I have something to give you. People are like, no, but I don't mean it in a bad way. But honestly, that's not, you just made a great point that I forget to tell people.
Very good point, Paria. I agree.
Very good point.
Rania, I want to ask something quickly because we're running out of time before Stefania has her next Zoom.
Actually, I have good news. I forgot it's at 9:30, so I just need 5 minutes to get my voice. I mean, yeah, give me 10 minutes, but I thought it was the next hour. I gave you guys a little bit more. But I know people are busy.
Great.
But I love my
job. What I can do if I face 2 kinds of people, one of them, when they know that I want them to invest in a Jeunesse or to pay, they started to tell me, no, I don't want to pay. I don't have money. I need something in rewards before I start. And the other
I need something, sorry?
Tell me, oh, the other kind of people, they already have work. They already doing so much money. And then they told me, no, I don't need that. If I want something, I will tell you to order. How can I deal with 2 different kinds of people?
Perfect. I love those people that don't want to do the business because those are the ones that are really making the volume. Those are the clients. And sometimes clients, if they don't do the business, they will refer. Clients are actually referring the product if they like it to other people, and they have much more belief than us because if they're not doing the business, the Sonic from Sephora that washes your face. Right, this machine that I love to use that with the cleanser. And what is so funny is that in the beginning it was easier for me to sell that to people, which I don't make any commission, because in their head was, well, she's making money on the cleanser, but she's not making money on that. So they would run to Sephora and buy it, but still don't buy my cleanser. That was how frustrating it was. So what I'm trying to tell you is that those people that don't want to build, they're still great. Try to explain them and love the product. Make sure that they know you need to use it for at least 2-3 months and really see the difference. And they will refer you some other customer and leave them where they are. You really just need a few to the business, but also don't think that everybody that does the business, I know I said it before, will do it for money. That has to be you that slowly will excite them, and some of them will never be, but will not excite, convince is the wrong word, but will influence them in seeing that in this business they can have fun, they can help others. And so, when somebody told me no, I would say, okay, do you know somebody that might want to have a part-time job or might want to do this part-time, or do you know somebody that needs, and then they would refer me a few people, and then I would say, but you know what, this is so silly that I don't sign them up with your ID. Do you not, I don't want to be signed up. I said, but you don't want to get some free products? Let me just sign them up with your ID. I take care of them. I work with them, and we're just going to make some commissions. You don't even need to put your name on the shop if you want. And then they start seeing again, 200, 300, and even if they're loaded, they find it funny. Oh, okay, I'm getting the serum and reserve for free for my kids. Oh, great. Let me, tell a few more friends. So, and some will never do it, and it's fine. So it's really up to you to find the ones that want to do it and the ones that just want to use the products and the ones that will stop using the products. It's okay.
Thank you.
I really like that advice, actually, where, it's happened to me at school where a mom who I just gave samples to, I gave out lots of samples before Christmas at the Christmas bazaar. And after the 2 weeks of the Christmas holiday, a lot of women came back and were starting to ask for the products. And just very recently, one of them said, like, oh my God, all my friends, like in my, she's actually from Malta, Stefania. So she's Italian. She said, all my friends from my club are asking about my skincare. Can I get samples for them? And I said, well, if you're going to get them samples and they're going to buy, why give me the business that could go to you, So for you, Rania, with the people that are rich and don't need to make the money, then they can afford the product. It's just sometimes difficult to convince people who are hooked on certain brand names because they see it as a status symbol to buy a certain brand name. And we can talk a bit more about how to make Jeunesse feel more valuable so that they don't, they don't see it as a loss of status in that way. And again, going back to Paria, I think that was such a very good point. Rowena taught me something very interesting. She said the secretary in the architectural firm where she used to work used to have a mirror all the time in front of her at the phone. And because in the training, they actually told them that the results are different when you have a smile on your face than when you don't. So it's such a good advice and such a good thing to bring up. And Rania, you said there was two people, one type that was the people who had money and the people who don't. And I think with the people who don't, one thing that I like to say is like, okay, well, if I ask you next month at the same time of the month, whether you can join or not, what's your answer? And they say, well, I'll probably, again, be running out of money. And you say to them, well, when are you going to do something to change that? Because if every time you're doing the same thing,
it's not to make money, not to lose money.
Yeah.
Jeunesse, asking you to just buy some products to know what you're talking about. So we want to change people's lives, and the numbers talk alone.
Exactly.
So it's not so if you keep on doing what you're doing, you're never going to change your life.
Exactly.
So that's what I tell them. And also, I want to make a point again. I have people with private jets enrolled in my team doing the business. So don't think that when people are rich, they don't want to do Jeunesse. They love to do Jeunesse, okay? So don't have this big, because I thought that only broke people like me would be interested. It's not true. I was really, when people come outside my meetings in Milan, because normally in network marketing, it's true that there are more like broke people in other companies. They're like, oh my God, who are those people? Like, look at the cars, look at, like, it's a whole, like, very good, high class. And we also have Gianni Sepe, who was a waiter, and his wife works at a cashier, and they're making $30,000 a month. Great. What is great about Jeunesse, you can help everybody. It's an opportunity for everybody. But don't think that rich people don't want to do it, because rich people see when something is the future. Rich people are entrepreneurs. They see what it's going to be. And trust me, too many women out there are sick and tired to depend on the family. They want to, I have like Carlotta Menarini. Her family's worth billions, okay? Billions. They're all over the magazine. She's one of my top leaders. She's a Ruby, and you're Ruby now. And she said, you know what? I don't want to always be the one that my daddy and my mom, because they were so rich, they're so rich and they gave me money, and all the houses we have is because of them. I don't want my husband, who's a famous TV presenter, to be I want my own cash. I want to prove to myself that I can be something. And Jeunesse is the best way. It took her 3 years because it wasn't her priority like me. But, now she's making really good money and she loves it. And because of her, you just need one of those. We got all those jet set people from Milan and Rome.
Yeah. I think the other thing, Stefania, that even just in a message to the group that I thought inspired people is that because now you're successful, we forget actually that similar to us, you had your struggles and really just like a normal person. So I told them the funny story of you having to ride on the back of a motorcycle with this guy to go to the middle of nowhere for a presentation, and that he was, a little bit of a sleeve.
So I went to places that, of course, I would love somebody like, when you have a machine from the past that would say, don't do that. I drove one time 3 hours my kids all the way to the north of Portugal to somebody that told me that she was going to have 20 people in the room. And then it was her brother and sister. And, and I didn't have money because I still had, at the time, I still had the Porsche, the Cayenne from my ex-husband, and then of course they took back. But it sucks so much petrol, and I hated that car because I couldn't afford it, and that's all I had. And I was thinking, now I'm gonna rent a cheap car where I can save money on petrol, because in Europe petrol is very expensive. And on the way back with 3 small kids, hungry, tired, the meeting was a mess. My car stops in the middle of the highway because I didn't have money to put petrol, and I thought that I could make it. And I start crying, breaking down. My kids are crying. I mean, I have stories like this where I had to humiliate, call my friend and ask her to go to the petrol station, buy 30 euros and put it in the car and go home and feeling like the biggest loser, okay? That's that. And from that meeting, never something came out. But then I have a meeting of this pharmacist guy. He's like 80 years old. He loves women. And he takes me to his ex-wife, but he picks me up with this bike, and I'm wearing a skirt, so I have to hug him like this. And he's like, hug me tight. And he always checks on my breast. And when I'm talking to him, he spits out of his mouth, and he's stinky. And he gives me this old helmet. And I'm thinking, why am I doing this? And on top of it, this was not my contact. This was a contact of Manuela Ratti, who now is making so much money, but because her child has a liver transplant and she was in hospital, so she had a really good excuse. She asked me to go for her, and because we are paid infinite until a really $106,000 a month of one bonus, of course I went because I needed money. So with sticky helmet, the guy is a pig, hug me, going through the road, and I'm thinking, I'm gonna be dead. My kids are alone at home with my mother-in-law at the time. I'm thinking, what am I doing? And I get there, and it's true story. 3 people, which I didn't expect more, but 3 people. One is a doctor who nearly makes me cry because he says, oh, no, this is not real. And then he apologized next day when he checks that, oh, this was real. But he couldn't believe that those products were really so good. And the other was a lady with red hair like this, an artist that paints, like 80 years old again. And I'm thinking, what am I doing? And another one is a lady from Greece that I couldn't understand a word she would say in Italian. So I'm thinking, what am I doing here? And of course I thought immediately, the doctor is going to be maybe enrolled, and that's going to be my breakthrough. The doctor makes me cry because he tells me that I'm not good at explaining the product and I'm not official, and like terrible. And then this woman with the red hair, Renata, now I call her my granny, because Renata just sold a house actually she was a real estate, still working at her age, I loved her, a huge villa to Elisabetta Reggio, who's one of my rock stars today, who's amazing. Of course, Elisabetta Reggio and me worked together one-to-one. I jumped all these people, me and Manuela helped her. And today, because of that meeting, I have thousands of people thanks to Elisabetta Reggio. So thank God I went on that sticky. So yeah, crazy stories. I could stay here hours, but I don't want people feel sorry for me. But trust me, another thing, I was, the mommy, perfect mommy, married, always going to the gym. My husband was unfaithful, so I was trying to make myself always beautiful and making the children princess and all that. All I had to do was that. It was my job, and I always wanted bio food and the grilled fish. And we had like 5 people working in the house for us. So I had the guy doing the fish, the cook, and honestly, for me to give my kids Nutella sandwiches at night to go to the meetings was like a knife in my heart. Because for me, Nutella was going to kill them. For me, I felt like the worst mother ever. One time, and I don't want this to be duplicated, but one time I had to go and sign up this important but never did anything. Another story. But I went to sign up this person who told me was going to do so much. I left my 5-year-old with a 12-year-old, and the middle one, I don't know, was 8 or whatever, the age, I don't remember exactly. But in a house, I'd gone to jail and I would have had my kids killed. Okay? So, there are crazy stories. I don't want this to happen. What I'm trying to say is that if you really want something, you can make it happen. Now, thank God you're not broke like me. Thank God you're not, but still put some effort so you're going to have results. Yeah. But it was not easy. It was not easy, but it's so worth so worth it, guys. And it's not about today. My check is huge, and it's not about the money anymore. It's really about the fact that if I make so much money, I have so many people in my team making so much money too, and it's about really changing their lives now. Because for me, I'm more than happy.
Thank you, Stefania. Honestly, it's been very beautiful to hear you out. And I just want to make sure that at some point Dream gets the number, because we do have a hard time with customs. And that's mainly, a lot of people want to say yes to Jeunesse here, and they do. And then we tell them customs and DHL, and they're like, oh no, more money. So this is one of our downfalls. Yeah.
Yeah. That is that, you know, when we say don't make up excuses, you know, if your business don't go, in your case, that's a true disadvantage. But that's why Jeunesse normally says work with true open countries, right? And if you want to be a pioneer in this and you do have disadvantages. Trust me, I had everything in German when I started in Italy. Products didn't arrive. Products got broken and wasn't insured by the company because we were not allowed to sell it yet in Italy. So I know what you mean. Looking back, we started a little bit too early. I should have waited because I burned some contacts because of that. But at the end, it still worked out. But okay, the rest is not, you know, when people say, oh, blah, 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 I say, hey, you have the same products, you have the same compensation plan like everybody else. And how come some people are making and others no? The only difference is you. So go and work on yourself, prepare, study. Doctors need 30 years to be prepared in network marketing, to be a doctor. You know, in network marketing, you need 3 days. But please get prepared before you go burn all your friends and contacts, you know. And but in your case, it's totally different. I agree with you. I personally think that if somebody would have this because of the business. But for us in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and other countries where Jeunesse works perfectly, no excuses.
Thank you.
That's not
okay.
Because they're asking me, then you have me.
Yeah, I think we should let you have a little break.
I leave, but you stay, okay? Big kiss. Ciao, ciao. So nice to see you all. Some of you I don't see.
Thank you, Stefania.
Thank you. Ciao, 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 ciao.
Ciao. That was really brilliant.